Next to the Democratic Republic of Congo, and as the unrest there continues in the city of Goma, the UN has called the humanitarian situation extremely worrying. Civilians there are caught in the crossfire of the Congolese army's clash with pro-Rwandan forces there. We're going to talk more about this with France 24's Angela Diffley, who joins me on set. Angela, first of all, what more do we know about the situation in DRC today with this latest news that there have been protests in the capital, Kinshasa, as well?
Yes, there have been protests and some embassies have been attacked in Kinshasa. The French Foreign Ministry has condemned the attack on the French embassy in Kinshasa. Also, the US embassy and other embassies have been targeted as well. It's very unclear. It's a fast-moving situation. Streets are being blocked by crowds. It's at the moment a difficult situation to read, but certainly there is significant violence now in Kinshasa. As to Goma, which it is disputed whether or not it's been captured. As we said yesterday, the M23 rebels say they had captured it. The DRC army say it is not fully under their control. There is considerable worry because there is a laboratory, the ICRC are pointing out that there is a laboratory containing Ebola virus samples very close to where the fighting is. They're very concerned that that building might in some way be targeted and that some of the virus might escape with consequences which would be extremely serious. Apart from that, the humanitarian situation, I know you're going to talk about it in a short while, but the UN has had to pause deliveries of food. There's worry about looming food shortages, and there is water and electricity has been cut off in very many areas. So it's a very difficult situation in Goma.
So, Angela, what could be done at this point to stop the situation from escalating further?
Well, there has been some diplomatic activity. The South African President, Cyril Ramaphosa, said that he spoke to Paul Kagame, the Rwandan president, and they agreed on the need for a ceasefire. Kenya says that it hopes to have a meeting tomorrow with DRC President Felix Tshisekedi and Rwanda's President Paul Kagame. And the African Union is supposed to be having a meeting today. All of this diplomatic activity, everybody knows it's a bad situation. Everybody knows a ceasefire would be helpful. How useful these meetings will be, we don't yet know. It's worth remembering that back in 2012, this group, the M23, captured Goma. There was significant international worry, outrage, and Barack Obama picked up the phone to Rwandan President Paul Kagame, and that was seen to have a significant effect. He said, you need to pull back your support from the M23, and quite quickly the M23 pulled back and the Congolese army were back in control. The situation is very different now. It's hard to know what might happen. Donald Trump, as we all know, doesn't want to involve himself in faraway wars, although, as we said yesterday, there are minerals here and it could get very seriously out of hand. Very important to mention that the European Union also recently gave 40 million euros to the Rwandan army. That's the same army that is said to be by the United Nations, have 4,000 troops in DRC now, because the European Union needs their help in Mozambique. France particularly is keen for their help against Islamists in northern Mozambique, where there is a Total Energy offshore plant. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes. It's not as straightforward as it looks. It never is with diplomacy. There are two schools of thought. Many people feel that the international community simply doesn't back up its strong words against Rwanda with anything real because there are other interests at stake. Rwanda has a very big aid budget. Its budget is very much reliant on aid anyway. And the DRC say, we want action if there is a UN Security Council meeting, not like the one on Sunday where very little emerged except words.
All right, Angela, thank you for that. France 24's Angela Diffley.